Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another awareness session of Reconstructing Minds Incorporated in partnership with Positive Lifestyle Management and Project Ghetto Gospel Awakening the Sleeping John. My name is Shantario, aka Brother Midnight. Today I got another very important awareness session. We're continuing in the series on voters registration rights. And today I have part two in reference to what we have been dealing with. I think this is a very important subject for all of us to understand and know, because a lot of us need to really truly understand the process of registration of voters and how it works in our favor when it comes into getting the right legislation into the different offices of our government, whether locally, state, or federal. So with that being said, I'm going to get straight into it, and I'm going to begin reading from the blueprint on page 40, dealing with the preparedness section, and it's the second paragraph, and it reads like this. It says, our new concept teaches us that our organization is based upon positive organized growth and development. And for those who don't understand what organization is a unified and consolidated group of people with an executive structure that deals with the well-being of all its people. It's an executive structure of business and enterprise for individual growth and collective acceleration of the body as a whole. So even within the new concept of organization, you see the true and the definitive essence of growth and development. It says growth and development builds in stages. It is cool and romantic. It is stalked and being stalked. It is the system rising above our level of intelligence to repress us, and our membership learning how to counter that repression, and again pull ourselves above the efforts to destroy us. Because of this, we must be in a constant state of preparedness. But to truly understand this, we have to truly have a mindset of the true essence of growth and development, and preparedness is a key element in understanding the new concept of organization. Now, this is one of the most detrimental things that is hurting us in understanding our rights, especially when it comes to voting, especially when it comes to voting in the right legislation. Instead of voting for people we don't know, we vote for people who we do know and have a heart for society and their communities and the people that are closest to them. But this is one of the problems, one of the key problems that is hindering us. Problem one, and this is from the July 1st, 1983 letter, What's Happening Inside and Out. It says laziness. Many of you suffer with this problem, wanting somebody to cater to you, provide for you, and give you their all. Our brothers, be it known, and when I'm not only talking to the brothers, I'm talking to the sisters as well. It says, our brothers, be it known that this is an enemy to our people and our community. We do not have time to carry you, and we will not cater to you to your laziness. Organization, which is our concept, is a group of people combined together, pushing all together toward the same objective. This is with everyone pushing and pitching in to make things work. You have to stand up to be counted, to move. If you remain seated, that's where your B sitting on the wayside, looking in your seat upon problem number 2, which is self-hatred. But I wanted to deal with laziness because laziness is also like a sister to our two great enemies, complacency and apathy. You know, and we cannot afford to just sit back and wait, you know, because this is a problem. The literature tells us that nobody will be waiting on anybody, but everybody will be somebody. That is our motto, you know, and we have to continue to move forward in the things concerning the law and politics, and that is what is going to help us to face the harsh realities of Black America. Another piece of literature I wanted to read from is the August 23rd, 1984 letter. And the second paragraph, and it says, history has shown us that in every society where a nation, an organization, a collective group of people are united together for one common cause, their integrity is measured on one hand by the capacity of their physical strength of the battle and the struggles they've won, which have proven to be of great significance towards their survival. However, on the other hand, there lies the reality of the world, such as ours, whereupon integrity is foremost measured by the wealth that one has to put into effect their organizational goals, ideas, and purposes. For an organization to grow and sustain itself, capital is the utmost importance. The organization must be able to have purchasing power. This is the only way to attain tools, raw materials, goods and services, properties, and a long list of the resources that are essential for us to have in order to pursue our organizational goals and objectives. For we were to just reflect back for a moment and contrast our old concept with our new concept. The old concept is a representation of birth pain. The new concept, which is organization, which is based on a spiritual awakening. It says, past experiences will be a motivating force and factor to keep our minds focused upon the reality that this is the only way. We must resurrect and rise up together in preservation. In other words, to preserve for the political and economical realities of America. Now, I know that mentioned money, but the key element is understanding the political processes and the economical processes of America. But we have to know the law. We have to know and understand the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, the amendments. All these different things play a key element in our legislative system. So we must understand that, because it is the legislative system that makes the laws and policies that governs us. Now, getting into the registration of voters. Now, this is 163-82-4, contents of application form. Information requested of an applicant. The form required by General Statute 163-82.3a shall request the applicant's name, date of birth, residence address, county of residence, date of application, gender, race, ethnicity, political party affiliation, if any, in accordance with the subsection D of this section. Telephone number to assist the County Board of Elections in contacting the voter if needed in processing the application. Driver's license number, or if the applicant does not have a driver's license number, the last 4 digits of the Social Security number. So we must understand how important it is that we get out and vote. They're trying to suppress our voter rights. And you know how hard it was back then, back in those times where slavery was at the pinnacle of destroying Black America, and how it affected us. Even within the court system, people pay for what they don't know. That's what the common sense approach tells us. So we must take an active approach in understanding voters registration. Okay, going back to the reading, it says, and any other information the state board finds is necessary to enable officials of the county where the person resides to satisfactorily process the application. The form shall require the applicant to state whether currently registered to vote anywhere and at what address, so that any prior registration can be canceled. The portion of the form concerning race and ethnicity shall include as a choice of any category shown by the most recent decennial federal census to compose at least 1% of the total population of America. So we must understand the political processes and how they work, especially where I'm at here in North Carolina. This paperwork was drawn up to understand the political processes of voter registration here in North Carolina and abroad. It says the county board shall make a diligent effort to complete the registration records. Any information requested on this form that the applicant does not complete, but no application shall be denied because an applicant does not state that provision of the applicant's does not state race, ethnicity, gender, or telephone number. The application shall conspicuously state that the provision of the applicant's telephone number is optional if the county board maintains voter records on computer. The free list provided under this subsection shall include telephone numbers. If the county board enters the telephone number of this into its computer record of voters, no license or social security card, the state board shall assign a unique identifier number to an applicant for voters registration if the applicant has not been issued either current or valid registration license or a social security number. The unique identifier shall serve to identify the applicant for voters registration purposes. So we have to understand how important voters registration truly is. You know, we can't just stand still and die. You know what I'm saying? To stand still is to die, but the leadership has decided that we will develop into something great. You know, but in order to achieve that greatness, we must understand the political processes of our government, whether state, locally, state, or federally. It says notice of requirements, attestation, notice of penalty, and notice of confidentiality. The form required by General Statute 163.82.3A shall contain in uniform top the following. 1, a statement that specifics each eligibility requirement and including citizenship, and an attestation that the applicant meets each such requirement with a requirement of the signature of the applicant under penalty of a Class 1 felony under General Statute 163-275-13. a statement that if an applicant declines to register to vote, the facts that the applicant has declined to register will remain confidential and will be used only for voters registration purposes. Okay, so we understand that. Number 3, a statement that if the applicant does not register to vote, the office at which the applicant submits a voter registration application will remain confidential and will be used only for voter registration purposes. Party affiliation or unaffiliation status. The application form described in General Statute 163-82 3A shall provide a place for the applicant to state a preference to be affiliated with one of the political parties in General Statute 163-96 or a preference to be an unaffiliated voter. Every person who applies to register shall state his preference, no matter if you have an affiliated status or unaffiliated status as a voter. Says the person shall be listed as unaffiliated except if the person is already registered to vote in the county and that person's registration already contains a political affiliation. The county board shall not change the registration status to unaffiliated unless the registrant clearly indicates a desire in accordance with the General Statute 163-82.17 for such a change. An unaffiliated registrant shall be eligible to vote in any party primary except as provided in the General Statute 163-119. But we may vote in any other primary or general election. The application shall so state. So, in understanding these voters registration rights, what I'm saying, there's a lot of information that goes into it. You have to have the adequate identification to be a voter. And if you don't, you get a unique identifier number. All these things play a pivotal role in the turnout of the general elections and how we vote local, state, and federally. And with that being said, my name is Shantario, aka Brother Midnight. I hope we have learned something together. Let's continue to grow and develop one another as we continue to understand the political processes of our government. Love to you all.